you worried, will it come too late? You won't be here tomorrow morning, but you said that yesterday as well. I bet I'll see your hero somewhere.
Good evening, VC, or anyone who might find themselves watching this video. Thank God it's Friday. Another week of work is just finished, and weekend, yes. Cheers. The purpose of this video is sort of celebrating the longest living Norwegian rock band, and what you're hearing in the background is a quirky kind of folk rock song from them, which isn't their typical thing, but the band I'm talking about is Motorpsycho, and as I mentioned, they're the longest living band in Norway. They started off in 1989 just as a trio, and that's the format they have stuck to all these years, still as a trio. And the reason for celebrating Motorpsycho today is that last Friday they released their latest album called The Tower, and it's a great album, I must say. After 30 years and 30 plus albums or so, they still have a fair bit of magic going on. So what we are listening to in the background is from the second LP, which I'll show in a bit. But Motorpsycho consists of Bent Sæther on bass guitar and vocals, and Hans Marius Ryan on guitar and vocals. And they have a new drummer. I do not know the new drummer's name, but the first drummer was called Kjell Runar Killer Jensen, but he was quickly replaced with a dude called Håkon Gebhardt, who played drums with them for years, many years. Now, I sadly don't have Motorpsycho's first release, which was a cassette called Maiden Voyage, but I have their second release, which is their first LP or album, called Lobotomizer. And it's a bit hard to describe Motorpsycho and their sound, because it has changed from record to record, and certainly over the decades. But this is an early attempt at blending metal, psych, punk rock, space rock, and it's a good album. But you can hear they are young and inexperienced, but it's good for its charm. Released on the tiny label called Voices of Wonder in 1991. So if you like a blend of punk, metal and psych rock, space rock, and tingles of sprinkles of avant-garde, this might be an album for you. But I bet you it's an acquired taste. Well, next they released an EP in 1992, I believe, called Soothe. It's a mini album actually. And here they continue with a blend of heavy, or metal I should say, and punk and alternative rock. Just great. There's a nice cover version here of California Dreaming, which is Far Out, a punk version of California Dreaming. So if you like Mamas and the Papas and punk, do check out Soothe with its cover of California Dreaming. The album we are listening to now is a masterpiece. It's their second full-length album, released in 1992, I believe, and it's the wonderful Demon Box. And this record is all over the place. In my opinion, and many others, this must be one of Norway's finest releases in the rock genre. From the first track, which is sort of a folk rock tune, to heavy rock songs, metal, punk rock, psych rock, jam-based, just wonderful, wonderful. And it's a double album, 4 sides of just pure rock. So if you want to check out Motorpsycho, I'd really recommend you start with Demon Box. This is where they really come to shape and form and prove that they were and still are one of the best Norwegian bands ever. Demon Box. After Demon Box, they released in 1994. They released a box set containing 3 albums, 3 records, and still in the usual Motorpsycho way, they are all over the place with 60s psych and pop tunes, psychedelia, heavy rock, metal, droning, experimental, avant-garde, and very melodic. This is a must-have if you want to explore Motorpsycho's catalog. Timothy's Monster from 1994, I believe, is really worth grabbing. Comes with a nice poster, which I will not bother to unfold and show you. After Timothy's Monster, which again gained a lot of good critics, they turned 180 degrees and released a country rock album called the Tussler. And this was released in 94 as well, I think. And it's a double album. It was originally released as a double 10-inch. But this is country rock at its best for me. There are some Neil Young covers on this one. And well, if you like Grant Parsons and Flying Burrito Brothers, Neil Young, this album is excellent to check out. So, in a sense you can say Motorpsycho has got a bit of everything for everyone. And then in the mid-90s, 96, they released a sort of Sonic Youth inspired album called Blissard. Just wonderful. Another double album. In 97 they continued on the Sonic Youth soundscapes, plus adding cosmic sounds and some pop rock format tunes. Just wonderful. Metal, psychedelia, cosmic rock, hard rock, 90s indie rock. This is a monster album you have to check out. Trust Us from 1998. In my opinion, this is the last great album from their best period. If I were to choose 4, oh, I can't do it, sorry. I can't choose just 4. If I had to choose 5 albums out of Motorpsycho's catalog, it would be Demon Box, Timothy's Monster, Blissard, Angels and Demons at Play, and Trust Us. So from 92 to 98 they were on fire. Of course, a good band has to release live albums. This is Roadworks Volume 1 and Volume 2. Not essential if you want to check out Motorpsycho, but quite good. I dig him. Then in 1999 they took another 180-degree turn and started with pop rock. I don't know how to describe it. Still a fair bit of psychedelia going on this, but now they are concentrating on melodies and the pop format. A lot of these tunes sound a bit like mid to late 60s Beach Boys. Not the surf era Beach Boys, but later Beach Boys. And this album is called Let Them Eat Cake. A wonderful, wonderful album. And they had so many songs recorded for this album, so they released the same year another album called Barracuda in the same vein. A little more heavy than Let Them Eat Cake, but still with a fair bit of pop going on. And then in 2002, 2001, they released Phanerothyme, who many believe is the best pop rock album from Motorpsycho, and a lot of West Coast psychedelia going on this album. Wonderful, wonderful piece. So if you're not too into the heavier side of things, Phanerothyme and Let Them Eat Cake by Motorpsycho are excellent choices. Then in 2003 they released another double album called It's a Love Cult, and here they are going more back to the psychedelia and heavier side of things, but not as heavy as Demon Box, but this is quite recommendable. It's the last album to feature Håkon Gebhardt on drums. He left them then in 2001 or 2002, I believe it was. Oh, sorry, he was on another Tussler album, another country rock album released the very same year, 2002. Then they continued as a duo for a couple of years, a year or two, releasing this album called Black Holes Blank Canvas. And I think perhaps this is the poorest album of them all, but No Evil and Hyena are great, great hard rockers. Double album, of course. They almost always release double albums for some reason. They are so productive. Now, a new era for Motorpsycho with a new drummer called Kenneth Kapstad, and this is where they go into prog rock land with the album called Little Lucid Moments. This is perhaps the most enjoyable album from the Kenneth Kapstad period from 2008 and onwards. Little Lucid Moments, if you like the proggier side of things, Little Lucid Moments. It's a wonderful album. And then in 2009 they celebrated their 25th anniversary with an album only, vinyl only release called Child of the Future, which further explores the proggier side of things with a lot of heavy riffing going on, of course. Just let me put away some of the records. Another great album, Heavy Metal Fruits, a little heavier than Little Lucid Moments and Child of the Future. And of course another live album, Roadworks Volume 4. There were never a Volume 3 on album. It was released as a DVD. And then an orchestral and band work called The Death-Defying Unicorn. Experimental, orchestral, okay, not essential to my ears. And then they released another prog rock monster called Still Life with Eggplant, and this features a wonderful cover version of August by Love, Arthur Lee's Love. Just a wonderful cover version of a wonderful song. In fact, my favorite Love song. Love the band, not a love song, but yes, you know what I mean. And then they released another heavy prog rock album called Behind the Sun. Excuse me for the glare. Which is good, but this is where they start to get a bit, to my ears, a little bit boring. A lot of these albums sound a lot like, they're a lot of the same actually. But good, but not mind-blowing such as the early albums. Another orchestral work, En Konsert for folk flest, a concert for most people, recorded in Nidarosdomen, the Dome of Nidaros, a wonderful Gothic church in Trondheim, with church organ, choir, orchestra, and of course Motorpsycho themselves. If you have been playing together and releasing records as a band for over 25 years, you have to release a best of or a sampler at least. So this is what this is. It's called Supersonic Scientists. And it's a great starting point if you want to explore Motorpsycho's catalog, because this has tracks far back as from Demon Box and all the way to Still Life with Eggplant. So this is a nice way a nice place to start if you want to check out Motorpsycho. And then they released their last album with Kenneth Kapstad called Here Be Monsters. Of course, another double album with complicated but still very catchy and heavy prog rock, and an tour edition only, Here Be Monsters Volume 2. So that was 2016, and this year they released another double album with a new drummer called The Tower. But before they released the new studio album, they also released a limited edition concert recording called Begynnelser, Beginnings. It's a double 10-inch set. I haven't opened it yet, I haven't had the time to listen to it. But it's music, it's a score to music from an imagined play, which was on the theaters here in Norway. In addition to all their LPs, they have released a number of singles and 10 inches, and always other tracks on the 10 inches EPs than on the albums. Perhaps one track from the album and the rest are from demo recordings or songs that didn't make it to the albums. Essential stuff. This one is lovely. Starmelt Love Light. And always very experimental, exploring new sounds. Switching between genres but still making it sound like Motorpsycho. It's just a wonderful band, and I think you do deserve to have heard about Motorpsycho, and they deserve to be spread worldwide. They have worldwide recognition actually. Their last album was recorded in the United States. They have toured both the United States, Europe, Eastern Europe, and they have a big fan base here in Europe. So, okay, that'll do it I think. 20 minutes, a tribute to Motorpsycho, almost 30 years and still going strong with their latest album called The Tower. Check it out. Thanks for watching. If you found some of this interesting, please do comment, ask questions if anything was unclear. Press that thumbs up button or thumbs down button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. No matter what you do, keep rocking and enjoy your Friday. Bye for now.